Welcome in, friends. 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. We are wrapping up June. Oh my God, right? Where did the time go? My goodness, it has been a quick month. It hasn't been our usual summer month, my friends. And we've certainly been hearing that across the country. Tons of variables in that. What I say to all my friends, keep your head down. This is the last day of the month right here, right now. On a Monday. Make it happen. Close this thing out strong. And I'll tell you one way that you can, and that's today's show. The title, have you checked your CRM lately? Or your call tracking? Because now's the time to really dig in, man. We launched the CRM side of our company 8 months ago at this point, 9 months ago. And it has been eye-opening, people. Eye-opening. First of all, CRM is typically one of the larger expenses on the ledger. It is also typically one of the most underutilized and underused parts of the world. Now, let's get out of the way that most of these systems are clunky, shitty, and not set up well. Okay, we can write that off. I already know that. We're good. What doesn't matter is the fact that people still don't use them. And don't get me wrong, man. When I started in the car business, I had a Rolodex. Okay? Paper Rolodex. You know what was great about that? Every single day I cycled through it. Every single day I was moving clients, calling clients. I was here. Computers are locked in the screen, right? It's all back behind the wall. You got to go back there. You got to know what you're doing. If you're not a big CRM user, you probably need a Sherpa along with you so that you're not wasting time. That's what I tell people all the time who are like, oh, I'm going to go look in GA4. Okay. Have you done it before? No. Do you have a Sherpa? No. Okay. Well, bring oxygen because you're gonna get buried in data if you don't know what you're looking for. And the CRM can be the same sort of robust scenario. We find that very few GMs live in there, and not enough sales managers live in there, or salespeople live in there. And yet here we are. I took my first internet lead in 1998. Okay. So where are we now? 27 years later, the first thing I ever did with a lead 27 years ago, check the notes. 27 years later, we still aren't checking the notes. How is this possible? How is it possible? What is it when people get a lead? It might be the speed at which people think they have to reply. Thank you, OEMs, for a useless metric and a useless thought process, okay? Speed sucks in internet leads, okay? Get over it. Don't worry about it. Just seriously, de-incentivize anything that has to do with doing something fast when it regards to leads, okay? Take your fucking time. Read the notes. Read the lead. Understand what inventory matches the lead. Okay? If you have email, email. If you have text, text. If you have phone call, do all three. You want to do all three in the first day? Great. Do you want to do that all three twice in this first day? No, don't do that. Don't do that. I get being aggressive. Trust me, I'm one of the most aggressive people you'll meet, but I'm aggressive with cause. I'm aggressive with purpose. There is a reason for how we approach things. If you haven't looked at your process in a while, do that. It needs to be refined. It needs to be looked at. If you've decided that AI is your future and AI in your CRM is how you want to deal with things, God love you. Okay? And if you think you can sign that up and walk away from it without looking at it, you've got another thing coming. The CRM side of this business is so hairy. And when you get AI involved, if you already have a workflow, if it goes and understands the workflow, if it definitely will not be reading comments, it definitely will not be pulling things forward like that. So you still have to do work. Be careful of the AI integration. Recently, we had a client sign up for AI. A month and a half later, he's like, what's AI done? We looked into it. It hadn't even been set up correctly, so it did nothing. He was on the hook for $2,200 of nothing. Nothing. AI is sexy, oversold, and kind of bullshit. Okay? It's kind of bullshit. It really is. You still need humans. You still need the human touch. Now, if you want to have AI go after the CRM leads that are 40, 50, 60, fine. I don't care. You want to have AI do your first initial response? Not for me, man. Not for me. And let me ask you something. If you think you need AI, do you know if you're even staffed correctly? Because I'll bet you're not. And I'll bet you haven't thought about that. You just think, I heard about AI. Why hire a person when I can plug in a computer? Okay, that's fine. I would always have people over AI. We here at our organization are only, 5 or 6 people deep. We use a little bit of AI for editing and shit like that, but that's about the net result. There are ways to use it. That's not what this is about. This is about making sure that you don't think it's going to cure what ails you, because it won't. No shiny object in my 27 years has ever fixed things without human interaction. Ever. And trust me, I have seen a fuck ton of things that were supposed to change the universe. And they don't. Because they're oversold and kind of bullshit. That's not just AI. That is 27-year history of vendors in the automotive space. Okay? Seen it firsthand. Happy to have a discussion with anyone who'd like to challenge me on that. We could do it right here on this show. Shiny objects don't fix shit. As a matter of fact, I can make a case. They make shit worse. I'm not going to make that case today, but I can make it. What I like to know is who is listening to, okay, so you don't go in your CRM, fine. Are your phone calls integrated into your CRM? Because if they're not, then you got to go to your call tracking software to listen. And how many of you do that? Because my team has started to send me calls that they listen to. They think it's fun. It's not fun for me. I get visibly upset hearing the way we talk to customers. Or put customers on hold. You know what's funny about recorded calls? When you put customers on hold, you know what I'll still record? The customer. You ever go back and listen to what a customer says after you put them on hold for the third time? It isn't good. It is not good. And you would know this if you listened. You would know this if you had integration to your CRM. You would know this if you were taking a hands-on approach to making your people better. It's what we do every single week for our clients. Dig through CRM, listen to phone calls, get examples of leads, try to help people get trained through accountability. That's our motto here. Train through accountability. Most other automotive training is broken as far as I'm concerned. Trainers coming in, blah, 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 and then they leave, and then a sales manager says, don't listen to that guy anyways. Awesome. Just awesome. Wasted everyone's time and resources. That's great. We would prefer to work with the existing structure and make it better. Most of the people we work with are not here trying to overhaul things and get the next 50%. They're trying to get the last 5%. And that's where we come in. We like to help with that squeeze of that last 5%. But where do we do it? Call tracking and CRM. Period. Even when we find stores that are great, we still find things like, for instance, if you pay your people on a pay plan that has to do with close rates or has to do with, show percentages, any of those things. If you're not looking in CRM, but you are trusting the report they bring you from CRM, there's a good level of fuckery that happens in data. Work the pay plan isn't just something we say. It's something people do. And inside CRM, manipulation is very possible. It's very possible. Now, I'm not saying people are trying to scam people out of money. It might just be old habits, bad habits. But if you don't know about those habits, you're not sure where to look for those habits, they can get expensive. So today, go back and have your team do 2 things. 1, listen to phone calls. 2, go look at the last 100 leads to come into your dealership and tell me what you find. Have yourselves a wonderful close of June, and we'll get right back after it next week, kick off July with a good bit of fun in something that I like to say is called Don't Be Afraid of Change, because it happens. Thanks a lot. Have yourselves a great rest of the month.